Cameron tucked in his shirt, adjusted his jacket, and buckled his shoe. He had never been so excited in all his life. It was nearly his wedding day, and he was very much looking forward to the big day. He had brought the most amazing ring for his future wife. It was dainty, shimmering, and would fit her perfectly. He went over to his Bob the Builder branded chest of drawers to take one last look at it.
I'm sure I put it around here. I'm sure I put it around here somewhere. Don't tell me I've lost it.
He looked and he looked, but it was nowhere to be found. Cameron thought perhaps some brightly coloured Scooby-Doo wire twisted together would suffice, but he decided against it.
I'd better make a plan. I better make a plan. I can't turn up on Saturday without it.
Cameron had to go to the wedding rehearsal later that day, so he had to hurry. He got his friend Tom Cruise to pick him up. He arrived and they sped off to Boots. They were sure they could find a replacement ringer there.
Thanks for picking me up, Tom.
No worries, man. I'm on lunch break from shooting Mission Impossible 14 anyway.
Cam didn't want to go to the rehearsal. He muttered,
I don't have to do much except say I do.
You have to go. No ifs, no buts, no coconut.
exclaimed Tom Cruise. Cameron put his coconut back in his bag. There would be no Hawaiian-themed hula skirt-inspired wedding this time.
You know what I'd really like to do?
What's that?
Play all the characters at my wedding. Be the groom, the best man, the parent, the bridesmaid, the pastor, all at the same time. Just like Eddie Murphy and the Nutty Professor Sue, the clumps.
As a proper actor, I wouldn't recommend it, chap.
Rumour had it that the grapevine had told a Chinese whisper to a bloke in a bar that Cam could get a cheap wing at a well-respected, highly reputable establishment at the famous blue shopping centre called Pet Stores. Boom, 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 I want you in my room.
Ah, that must be my phone ringing.
Said quite proud of his new catchy Venga Boys ringtone. This was sure to impress Amy and his in-laws, he thought.
Alright. Hello, who may I ask is calling?
This is Charlie Sheen, your wacky neighbor or something.
Is there a Charlie Sheen one?
No, not yet.
I'm not there. I'm on the road, Cameron.
Alright.
Improvisation, guy.
Hi Charlie. Hi Charlie. I'm just on my way to Pet Stores. Do you need anything?
I'm just unsure of what to do about my drug and alcohol problems, Cam. Do you have any advice for me?
Yeah, sure. If there's one thing I learned from doing cocaine in the late 70s, there are three things in life you can be certain of: death, taxes, and Michael Jackson impersonations.
Cameron knew he had to be in tip-top physical condition for his honeymoon exploits, so he decided to practice touching his toes. You need to do that. No, you need to do this with this thing. Yeah. Whatever that looks like. And doing one-arm push-ups.
That's the same thing.
He also thought some star jumps would be beneficial. Classic. A few hours later, Cameron had managed to find a beautiful yellow princess party ring that cost a mere £3.99. After leaving Boot on his way to the rehearsal, he bumped into Leonardo DiCaprio from his favourite film Inception, who said,
Cameron, you have such an interesting life. You should write an autobiography.
Cameron replied,
You know, I've always wanted to do that. I would call it...
use the Leonardo DiCaprio. Help him Nick with the script, right?
You know, I've always wanted to do that. What was to do with who's speaking?
You are. You're just going to hold it there.
You know, I've always wanted to do that. I would call it the Smithers story. No lights, no cameras, just action.
Well, what would you write about?
I think I would begin by detailing my life singing as the Bradley in S Club 7. As Bradley in S Club 7. And I will conclude the book with a story about the time I played Oompa Loompa on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, give me your number so we can stay in touch.
I actually don't have a phone. I just keep a ball of string and paper cup on me in case a dramatic return to form and comes back into fashion.
Cameron and Leo embraced. No, you need to embrace.
Great, bro.
You too. And gave one another a holy kiss. and decided to re-perform the Kate Winslet "I'm the King of the World" scene from Titanic. Cameron managed to get through the rehearsal with no mishaps, and he returned home to the solace of his bedroom. Suddenly he heard a knock at the door.
Who is it?
Your fiancée. The future Amy Smith came into the room and asked her future hubby.
Alright, Amy's here.
There we go.
Did you know that the
name
Chumbawamba was created by a chimpanzee with a typewriter?
What are you doing, Thank you. As were most of the lyrics, it seems.
Replied Cameron with a grin.
Alright, look at my knees. As they look as wide as elbows on my legs.
Cameron, you better be focused on Saturday. There will be no time for distractions. You are to be my hero, the love of my life, till death do us part.
Cameron often got distracted by thoughts like this, much like the time he spent an afternoon wondering why 24/7 shops have locks on their front doors, how Alanis Morissette's album Jagged Pill was so successful, and what happened to the cast of Saved by the Bell. Cameron thought about what it meant to be a hero. He remembered his favourites from his childhood: SpongeBob SquarePants, Humpty Dumpty, and of course the little crab Sebastian from The Little Mermaid. He thought that one day he'd eventually embody his heroes and become a half sponge, half egg, and half crab. The end.
Yay! Let's give it up for Tom Cruise, please, everybody!